Very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the class. Please confirm, is the audio and video good? Very good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Audio or video, ठीक है? Please confirm. Clear? All right. Okay. All right. So let's begin. We are covering 6th and 7th July news today. Oh, just a second. Yes. ESI Finance and Business News, first segment. So first news says MSME का data है basically इसमें. So this data can be important for you. MSME sector created 28 crore jobs in 10 years and contributes 30% to the GDP. This is the statement by the minister. Okay. So the Union Minister for MSME, Jitin Ram Manji, has stated that MSME ministry has created over 28 crore employment opportunities. MSME का data आपके लिए important हो सकता है for the exams. In the last 10 years, this has been created, and the ministry or MSME segment has contributed approx 30.1% to the GDP and 35.4% to the manufacturing sector. Okay, ये आप याद रखेंगे. And also remember this particular kind of information from the budget 25-26 you will remember. Budget में जो MSME का contribution दिया हुआ है, that is the best source which can be relied upon, right, for the data in the upcoming examination. तो वो आप वहाँ से facts thoroughly revise करेंगे. Remember this thing, 35.4% to the manufacturing sector. That is quite huge. And also 30% to GDP. That's why you see MSME is one of the backbones, right? We need to develop the MSME sector. Also, the number of registered MSME units in the country has increased 15 times in the last 5 years. The past 5 years में 15 times MSME registration have increased, with total number of MSME now reaching 6.53 crores. All right, then moving ahead. Next news. The Information and Broadcasting Ministry has proposed rule amendments to open up TRP market for TV rating agencies. So basically क्या है, जितनी आपकी TV rating agencies है, market अभी limited है ना, तो इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा players नहीं हैं. So the amendment basically want to do what? Under this amendment proposed by the IB Ministry, they have proposed a guideline for television rating agencies. Currently, if you see, Broadcast Audience Research Council, BARC, Broadcast Audience Research Council is the only agency providing TV ratings. Only agency providing TV ratings, right? Now, with this amendment, they will allow multiple agencies to come and provide a competitive market. Multiple agencies to come and foster healthy competition. क्योंकि जब ज़्यादा members होते हैं market में, competition boost up होता है, right? Healthy competition. Then next one is, again, this is very important. You see Reliance expanding itself in every sphere. Reliance Jio is on the path to become dominant fixed wireless access player globally. तो जो हमारा FWA है, fixed wireless access, जो wireless networks आपको provide करवाता है, right? इसमें Reliance Jio is going to be the dominant player in the world, replacing or surpassing T-Mobile in subscriber base. तो ये T-Mobile को भी surpass करने वाला है in terms of the subscriber base, remember. And Reliance Jio has reclassified around 1 million fixed wireless access unlicensed band radio subscribers into this category. Okay. It is followed by Bharti Airtel in India. तो अभी पीछे पीछे आपका भारती एयरटेल भी है, ये आपको ध्यान रखना है. Then next one is Indian economy is set to grow. India's economy may grow, say, by 6.4 to 6.7% in financial year 2026, says CII. So the CII, basically, Confederation of Indian Industry, has projected a growth rate band. इन्होंने एक range propose की है for the Indian economy's growth for 25-26, and the range is 6.4 to 6.7. Remember, 6.4 to 6.7%. Then next news is Sitaraman, Finance Minister Sitaraman has proposed 7-point strategy to mobilize private capital at a UN meet in Spain. तो यहाँ पर 7 points strategy क्या है? Let's have a look. 7-point strategy has been highlighted by the Finance Minister addressing 4th International Conference on Financing for Development organized by United Nations in Spain. तो सबसे पहले आपको ये ध्यान रखना है कहाँ पर organize की थी? It was organized in Spain. Okay, it was 4th International Conference on Financing for Development. So the Finance Minister has proposed these 7 points here. First of all, strong domestic financial markets, then address perceived risk through institutional reforms, that we need to address the perceived risks all over there, then create scale in investment opportunities, scale up blended finance, enabling role of multilateral development banks. So basically here they have also emphasized on the role of multilateral development banks like ADB and all, Asian Development Bank, BRICS Bank, etc. Then evolution of international credit rating methodologies to reflect long-term resilience of the emerging market and developing economies. So they want international credit rating agencies methodologies to be evolved, okay, and unlocking capital at grassroots level that supports micro, small and medium enterprises. Also focusing, so remember 7th pillar is, or 7th जो आपका point strategy है, it is regarding capital mobilization specifically for MSMEs. Now you see MSME is the future, right? So MSME आप exam के लिए भी you will revise it thoroughly, MSME related data into the budget, into the economic survey, any latest scheme provided or proposed by the government. So these are the 7 points, and remember here is a note that the UN CITAD has estimated an annual investment gap of $2.5 trillion in critical sectors of education, health, climate change, etc. So basically UN CITAD says the investment amount which is required, still there is a gap. So how much gap is there? 2.5 trillion US dollars gap is there. So we need to fill in this gap with capital, private capital we want to mobilize. Now moving ahead with the regulatory bodies news here. The first news is Sebi has banned Jane Street from Indian market for 4,843 crores of index manipulation. You must have read this news, this huge manipulation this US-based company has done, right? So remember the name, the Jane Street from US. Sebi has barred this US-based investment firm Jane Street from Indian financial markets for manipulating stock indices unlawfully and earning 4,843 crore rupees. Manipulation किया है इन्होंने. They have manipulated index levels through aggressive buying and selling of key bank Nifty and Nifty 50 कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट स्टॉक्स. जो बैंक निफ्टी और निफ्टी 50 स्टॉक्स थे उनकी एग्रेसिव बाइंग और सेलिंग करके इन्होंने प्राइसेस मैनिपुलेट की हैं. सो दिस इज द थिंग, रिमेंबर जेन स्ट्रीट हैज बीन बैंड फ्रॉम इंडियन फाइनेंशियल मार्केट. Now moving ahead with the banking news, this is again an important fact here. Slice has launched India's first UPI powered bank branch in Bangalore. तो Slice ने अपनी पहली UPI powered bank branch launch की है. In Bangalore they have launched, okay. So हाँ, इस पे आपका आई थिंक अशोक सर ने भी एक क्लास ली है, एक वीडियो उन्होंने भी बनाया. तो अगर आपको ज़्यादा डेप्थ में जानना है यू कैन गो थ्रू दैट क्लास एज वेल, यूट्यूब पर है. Fintech company Slice has rolled out its Slice UPI credit card. Also UPI powered physical bank branch. दोनों यहाँ पर लॉन्च किया है Slice ने. एक UPI क्रेडिट कार्ड है, दूसरा UPI powered physical branch है बैंक की, okay. While also accepting cash in Koramangala, Bangalore. So the location will be Bangalore. Remember that. And in this UPI card they are charging no joining or annual fee. कोई joining या annual fee नहीं है यहाँ पर. Remember this. Now moving ahead with the national news here. So Home Minister Amit Shah has laid the foundation stone of country's first cooperative university. ये आपको याद रखना है, since it is first of its kind, so it can be an important fact. India's first cooperative university has been established at Tribhuvan Sahakari Vishwavidyalaya at Anand, Gujarat. So in Gujarat this has been established. Okay, Tribhuvan Sahakari Vishwavidyalaya in Anand, Gujarat. First cooperative university. It will be training regarding cooperative sectors and all. बहुत सारी चीज़ों पर ये काम करेगी university. Remember the location here. Then next one, Union Minister Jitendra Singh has launched a state-of-the-art digital studio Srishti at IIPA. तो यहाँ पर they have launched a digital studio which is named Srishti. Okay. In IIPA headquarters at New Delhi. So digital studio का नाम है सृष्टि और यहाँ पर एक टी लाउंज भी है named सहकर. Okay, this initiative comes under Ministry of Personnel and Public Grievances and Pensions. Now Srishti is a state-of-the-art digital studio. अब क्योंकि ये digital studio है, so what will be the purpose? The purpose will be enhancing digital content creation, then supporting capacity building in this regard, also promoting knowledge dissemination for government officials and scholars. So you can access this studio in this regard, right? Remember, Srishti is the name. Then again, very, very important one, India establishes first internationally recognized equine disease-free compartment at RBC Center, Meerut. Here. So here, India has established a secured global recognition for first equine disease-free compartment. Equine disease क्या होती हैं या equine diseases क्या होती हैं? They are related to say horses etc. ठीक है, तो particularly जो आपके horse हैं इनसे associated होती हैं equine diseases. So India has established a particular compartment which is equine disease free compartment, okay, and it is also recognized by World Organization for Animal Health, and this facility has been approved at Remount Veterinary Corps, RVC Center and College, Meerut. Remember this thing in the Meerut Cantonment, Uttar Pradesh. Now this is important because you know it enables India or international movement of Indian sport horses in compliance with the global biosecurity and animal health standards. Global standards we will be able to meet, and our sport horses, they will be able to participate globally. That's why this is important step taken up, and this is an achievement for India. Okay, and this particular compartment has been officially declared free from equine infectious anemia. All these जितने भी आपके यहाँ पर नाम लिखे हुए हैं, it has been declared free from equine infectious anemia, equine influenza, then equine pyroplasmosis, glanders and sura. These are the infections and diseases associated, so it is free from all of this. And remember, traditionally India has historically remained free from African horse sickness since 2014. हाँ एग्जैक्टली जैसे आपने सुना होगा इक्वेस्ट्रियन वैसे ही इक्वीन, राइट. अब इससे क्या है, आपके जो स्पोर्ट्स हैं एट द इंटरनेशनल लेवल, जब भी हमारे स्पोर्ट हॉर्सेस हैं, इट विल बी इजी टू पार्टिसिपेट एंड देन दे विल बी एबल टू compete. And remember this fact as well, that India has historically remained free from African horse sickness since 2015. ये India 2014 से we are free from African horse sickness since 2014. So this is important. The next one is India expands quality control orders from 14 to 156 in a decade. Now remember this figure as well, 156. Now what is quality control order? क्वालिटी कंट्रोल ऑर्डर क्या है? अंडर दिस वी सेट सर्टेन स्टैंडर्ड्स, राइट. जैसे आपने सुने हैं BIS मार्क एक्सेट्रा, वी सेट सर्टेन स्टैंडर्ड फॉर सर्टेन प्रोडक्ट्स दैट दे कैन नॉट बी सोल्ड और इम्पोर्टेड विदाउट मीटिंग स्पेसिफिक क्वालिटी स्टैंडर्ड रिक्वायरमेंट्स, राइट. सो सच क्वालिटी रिक्वायरमेंट्स फ्रॉम इंडिया हैव राइजन along a variety of products, you know, from say 106 products in 2014 to 156 such products covering 672 products over the last decade. यानी अब ऐसे क्वालिटी कंट्रोल ऑर्डर्स जो रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं, जो स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं, वो कितने हैं? 156. एंड दे आर कवरिंग हाउ मनी प्रोडक्ट्स? दे आर कवरिंग 672 products over the last 10 decade. Over the 10 years India has done this. So remember, 156 quality control orders. Now talking about MOUs, we have one thing here. India has signed 6 agreements with Trinidad and Tobago. So India has signed this MOU on Indian pharmacopoeia, then agreement on Indian grant assistance for implementation of quick impact projects in the countries, then program of cultural exchanges for the period 2025 to 2028, cooperation in sports we have signed, then also cooperation in diplomatic training, also MOU on the re-establishment of 2 Indian Council for Cultural Relations chairs of Hindi and Indian Studies at University of West Indies, Trinidad and Tobago. तो यहाँ पर हमने हिंदी और इंडियन स्टडीज़ की चेयर के लिए के री-एस्टैब्लिशमेंट के लिए भी MOU साइन किया है. Remember this thing. These are 6 agreements we have signed with Trinidad and Tobago. Now, next one, yeah, indices and ranking. So here we have Pakistan assuming UN Security Council presidency for July 2025. Remember this fact, है ना. एग्जाम के लिए आपके लिए फैक्ट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. ऐसे जितने भी फैक्ट्स आते हैं कि विच कंट्री इज होल्डिंग विच chairmanship or assuming which chairmanship of which organization, right? So ये सारे आपके बहुत important question बनते हैं. Remember, Pakistan has assumed UN Security Council presidency for July 2025. Okay. Now this presidency is part of Pakistan's 2-year term as a non-permanent member of UNSC. You know that Pakistan is not a permanent member of United Nations Security Council. So being a non-permanent member, it is part of the 2-year non-permanent membership of the UNSC, which began in January 2025. Here the presiding officer is Ambassador Asim Iftikhar Ahmed. Okay, remember this thing. Then next one, very very important, जो हमारा one of the very important convention, CITES convention, it has completed 50 years. So this is going to be really important. Yes, Shubhashish, I can understand what you are trying to convey. I understand you know all of your emotions, but then you know that we have to stay away from politics and political opinions. So just stick to the fact, right? So it is just relevant for the examination, as I told you. Remember that. CITES ने यहाँ पर 50 years complete किए हैं. This is going to be very important. CITES is very important convention. Convention on international trade in endangered species of wild fauna and flora. तो basically CITES convention क्या है? CITES convention है that you know जो भी endangered flora और fauna हैं उनका international trade को ये regulate करता है, right? 50 years इसने complete किए हैं. It was entered into force on 1st July 1975. And remember one fact here, that India ratified CITES in 1976. इंडिया ने रेटिफाई कब किया था साइट्स को? 1976 में. आई होप यू नो द डिफरेंस बिटवीन साइनिंग एन एग्रीमेंट एंड रेटिफाइंग इट, राइट? तो साइन करना और रेटिफाई करना दोनों अलग होता है. इंडिया रेटिफाइड इट इन 1976. व्हेन वी साइन एन एग्रीमेंट वी से दैट वी एग्री टू द टर्म्स, राइट? वी विल बी पार्ट ऑफ इट. But then when we ratify it, it means that we subsequently has implemented laws accordingly in our country. Okay, so this is the thing. And the third meeting of the Conference of Parties of this convention was hosted by Government of India in 1981 at New Delhi. This can be again important fact. CITES की जो COP थी, Conference of Parties थी, उसका third meeting इंडिया ने होस्ट किया था न्यू दिल्ली में 1981 में. ऑल्सो रिमेंबर साइट्स सेक्रेटेरिएट इज लोकेटेड इन जेनेवा, स्विट्जरलैंड. ओके, जेनेवा, Switzerland. Now talking about some important reports here. So first of all we have World of Debt Report 2025 released by UNCTAD or United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. तो ये रिपोर्ट UNCTAD ने पब्लिश की है, दैट्स वाई इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. कुछ फिगर्स आप यहाँ पर ध्यान रखेंगे, जैसे ग्लोबल पब्लिक डेट हैज रीच्ड एन ऑल टाइम हाई. जो ग्लोबल पब्लिक डेट है, ग्लोबली अगर हम सारी गवर्नमेंट्स का डेट देखें, सो इट हैज रीच्ड ऑल टाइम हाई ऑफ $102 trillion in 2024. Remember this figure is quite huge. $102 trillion 2024 from $97 trillion in 2023. Okay, and almost you see developing countries public debt has also grown twice as fast as that of advanced economies. Developing countries का public debt ज़्यादा है, उसके पीछे reason भी है. You know that developing countries public welfare cannot be sidelined, right? Government has a responsibility to increase its government expenditure. It has to provide basic amenities. It has to generate employment. So that's why developing countries का public debt is higher. Also 3.4 billion people live in countries spending more on interest payment than on health or education. ऐसी भी countries हैं जहाँ पर ज़्यादातर spending interest payment में है as compared to health and education. So this is the state of world we are living today, right? And I think this point you can relate with the fiscal deficit implications here, right? I have explained all of you in the budget static class what is fiscal deficit. Is the global debt at all time high due to COVID hangover? That can be one of the reasons, Shubhashish. That can be one of the reasons. This is not the only reason. Also, what can be the other reason is, you see, right now, a lot of conflicts, they are happening, right? So, public spending kidhar ja rahi hai, okay? Also, humanitarian crisis in lot of parts of the world. So, these kind of conflicts and humanitarian crises and geopolitical tensions, they are another factors responsible, right? Apart from the corona hangover. I think we all have recovered from the corona pandemic, so that's not a big issue looming as of now. Here, just remember what I'm trying to convey is this point you can relate with the budget static part. In the fiscal deficit segment, I have explained you what is the implication of fiscal deficit, why we have an FRBM Act, dedicatedly saying that we want to curtail fiscal deficit in India to 3% of the GDP because it has negative implications like this, right? Yes, it have negative implications like this. If your country is spending maximum of the taxpayers' money or the GDP into repayment of loan or interest payment, that is of no use, right? So fiscal deficit, that's why has to be curtailed. And remember then in 2024 alone, they spent $921 billion on interest payments, which is 10% increase compared to the last year. So this is the data. सारा आप याद नहीं भी रख पाए, so that's not an issue. It is $102 trillion, which is important. All right, now let's see awards. So our Prime Minister, awarded again. Prime Minister has been conferred with Trinidad and Tobago's highest civilian honor. Remember this thing, highest civilian honor. The Order of Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, which is the country's highest civilian honor. Private debt भी होता है. See, जब we are talking about public debt, so we are specifically talking about the debt on the governments. Private debt जब हम बात करते हैं, तो we talk about government के अलावा जो भी debt हैं, which we owe outside the country. Okay. So remember this award. Now let's talk about the sports. अच्छा, यहाँ पर आपने you must have followed this thing. Rapid title at Grand Chess Tour 2025. तो ये जो Grand Chess Tour 2025 है, इसमें दो चीज़ें हैं यहाँ पर. Do not get confused. डी गुकेश ने आपका जो जीता है वो रैपिड टाइटल जीता है और मैग्नस कार्लसन ने ओवरऑल रैपिड प्लस ब्लिट्स टूर्नामेंट जीता है. ठीक है, रैपिड प्लस ब्लिट्स हैज बीन वन बाय मैग्नस कार्लसन एंड रैपिड टाइटल हैज बीन वन बाय डी गुकेश. तो ये ब्लिट्स प्लस रैपिड वाले में कार्लसन होगा और रैपिड वाले में आपका यस डी गुकेश होगा. सो रिमेंबर दीज टू कैटेगरीज और इससे कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं होना चाहिए. हाँ, एक और चीज, इट वॉज हेल्ड वेयर, इट वॉज हेल्ड इन ज़ैग्रेब इन क्रोएशिया. तो लोकेशन भी आपको ध्यान रखनी है. ऑलराइट, पर्सन इन न्यूज में अगेन मेकिंग इंडिया अ वेरी प्राउड नेशन. सो इंडियाज फर्स्ट वुमेन naval fighter pilot begins MiG-29K training here. So remember her name. She is Sub Lieutenant Astha Punia. Astha Punia is set to become Indian Navy's first women fighter pilot, beginning her final year of training, to qualify and operate MiG-29K fighter jets. So remember her name, okay, from aircraft carriers at sea. इसके अलावा आप याद रख सकते हैं लेफ्टिनेंट अतुल कुमार धुल एंड सब लेफ्टिनेंट आस्था पुनिया, दे हैव आल्सो रिसीव्ड द प्रेस्टिजियस विंग्स ऑफ गोल्ड फ्रॉम द एडमिरल जनक बेवली फ्रॉम ACNS. तो इन्होंने दे हैव आल्सो बीन अवॉर्डेड और दे हैव आल्सो रिसीव्ड द प्रेस्टिजियस विंग्स ऑफ गोल्ड. आस्था पुनिया नाम आपको ध्यान रखना है. दिस इज इम्पॉर्टेंट एंड दैट्स इट फॉर द CA. अभी हम CA शॉर्ट्स डिस्कस करते हैं. First question. Union Minister for MSME recently has stated that MSME has created, over 28 crores employment opportunities in the last 10 years. So the ministry has said that MSME has contributed 30.1% to GDP and how much percentage to the manufacturing sector? Very good. 35.4. Absolutely correct. Option B is your right answer. Next one, the CII has projected India's real GDP growth to be in the range of which of the following ranges, in the financial year 25-26, reiterating the country's position as fastest growing major economy globally. It is 6.4 to 6.7. Absolutely correct. Option D, 6.4 से 6.7. Okay, remember that. All right. Now, next question. The Sebi has banned US-based investment firm, which of the following firm, from Indian securities market for manipulating stock indices. Manipulation के लिए अभी किसको बैन किया recently? आप सभी को पता है नाम, Jane Street, right? Then, Union Home Minister Amit Shah has laid the foundation stone of country's first cooperative university in Tribhuvan Sahakari Vishwavidyalaya. In which of the following states? कहाँ पर located है ये? Gujarat, absolutely. Or more specifically in Anand, Gujarat. Okay. Then, Union Minister of Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal has said that the number of quality control orders in the country has grown from 14 covering 106 products to how many? Covering 672 products over the last decade. It has grown to 156. Well done. Absolutely. Option D is the right answer. Now, learning exercise for today. According to the Global Public Debt Report, अच्छा यहाँ पर आ ही गया है. Anyway, ठीक है. तो $102 trillion. Mistakenly, the answer is there in the question. So, कितना है? $102 trillion is the global public debt. Also, हाँ, CA शॉर्ट्स का पर्पस ही यही है कि एक आपका रिटेंशन कितना है उसको चेक करना, और इससे क्योंकि आपको पता है क्वेश्चंस आर गोइंग टू कम एट द एंड, सो यू विल बी पेइंग अटेंशन इनटू द क्लास, राइट. सो दिस इज जस्ट फॉर यू ओनली, जस्ट फॉर द रिविजन. इसका आंसर मिस्टेकनली है तो कोई बात नहीं, हम डिस्कस यहीं कर लेते हैं. 102 इसका राइट आंसर होगा. एंड दैट्स इट फॉर द क्लास. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर स्टेइंग ट्यून्ड। और जैसे आपको पता ही अब क्लास का टाइम चेंज हो गया है, 3 PM शार्प वी विल बी मीटिंग फॉर CA क्लासेस डेली। ऑलराइट, आई होप यू हैव एंजॉयड द क्लास। Thank you everyone for staying tuned. Have a good day. See you in the next session.